Error analysis and diagnosis of ESL linguistic accuracy, construct specification and empirical validation. Diagnostic assessment is defined as the process of precisely analyzing a problem and identifying its causes, which could be students' deficiencies, problems, or areas needing assistance. Among various methodological difficulties in developing DA, specifying the target constructs of assessment has been a long-standing obstacle. One of the challenges is linguistic accuracy, which poses a significant hurdle for English as second language writers. However, existing theoretical frameworks or models for language proficiency do not provide sufficiently fine-grained information to guide DA. On the other hand, the potential list of learner errors in second language writing is too long. In light of the above, Dr. Qin Xian narrowed the target population. Her research focused on first-year university students in Hong Kong with Chinese as their first language, and she analyzed the lexical and syntactic linguistic issues in their researched essays. She also conducted a research synthesis to harness the knowledge about ESL learner errors from existing error analysis studies. Her research answered 3 research questions. First, what are the high-frequency linguistic errors that our target students are likely to make? Second, what are the errors that are perceived to be highly grave? Third, to what extent are the list of errors, synthesized from the literature, applicable to our target students? The research was divided into 3 stages. First, a research synthesis was conducted to compile a list of highly frequent and grave linguistic errors from existing empirical studies which involved Chinese ESL students. At the second stage, the researchers manually tagged the errors in the writing samples and generated error statistics. Finally, the researchers compared the list of errors synthesized in the first stage with the error statistics from the second stage to verify whether the list was applicable to the participants. At the research synthesis stage, the researchers identified 33 prior studies. From these studies, the researchers identified a total of 37 errors. 24 of the 37 errors were high-frequency errors at the syntactic level and 10 errors were at the lexical level. Among these errors, 34 errors were considered highly grave and frequent, but 3 were not highly frequent. The researchers further shortened the list of errors. They applied Grammarly, and found 6 of the errors Grammarly could reliably detect. The 6 errors were excluded from the analysis. At the end of the synthesis stage, the researcher kept 31 errors in the final error list. Using this refined error list, 2 researchers manually tagged 387 essays that undergraduate students wrote for a general education course. This process generated an error-tagged corpus as shown in this example. The example shows an instance of preposition misuse. In this instance, the preposition on is used incorrectly at the places where in should have been used. Based on the error-tagged corpus, the researchers generated raw error statistics, namely, how many times an error appears in one essay, and how many people it affects. The first error count is called error frequency, and the second, namely, the number of people affected, is called error prevalence. Both statistics are normalized to adjust for essay length. Error frequency and error prevalence tell the importance of a particular error. With the 2 error statistics, the researchers could empirically verify the relative importance of the 31 errors they identified from prior research. The verification process involved 2 steps. In step 1, the errors were sorted at 2 ranks. Rank 1 consisted of high-frequency high-gravity errors, while Rank 2 were highly frequent or highly grave errors. In step 2, the researchers established 2 cutoffs. First, high-prevalence errors were defined as those committed by over 50% of the students. Second, high-frequency errors were defined as those occurring more than 3 times in a typical essay. Based on the 2 cutoffs, they refined the 31 error list into 4 tiers. This 4-tier list has 7 errors at Tier 1. These are high-frequency, high-gravity, high-prevalence errors. 10 errors are at Tier 2, they are high gravity and high prevalence, or high frequency and high prevalence errors. 8 errors are at Tier 3, they are either high gravity or high prevalence errors. Only 6 errors are at Tier 4, these errors have relatively low frequency and prevalence in the corpus. The 4-tier error list, which was derived from 33 prior research and empirically verified in the present research, holds significant importance for research and practice. Because the refined error list focuses on Chinese ESL and EFL undergraduate students and their academic essays, it could accurately reflect this particular group's unique linguistic issues. The error list, therefore, enriches the error taxonomy for Chinese ESL students at the university level. In addition to this homegrown error list, the error-tagged corpus can also fit closely to the local higher education context. With this error-tagged corpus, the linguistic errors specific to Chinese ESL students can be studied within the rich linguistic context. The corpus also provides rich, authentic linguistic resources for developing diagnostic assessment items.